I don't know. It's coming from my heart rather than
That's fine.
selfishly, I guess.
If you believe that you should leave it for someone else, then leave it. But again, it's your will. You at least have it. Use it. There are some who can't. I know that.
And there's someone whose life was taken away from them, not their choice. At least with me, I made some choices that led me to where we are.
I mean, some choices I made led me to a life of community service, but that's that's its own story.
Well,
Community service?
Yeah, let's just say, committing a murder leads you that direction. Well, normally jail, probably death, but...
you killed someone? Everyone in your group killed someone?
Oh, we all killed something. Whether it was someone or some individual, we've all done it. But I did take one human life. Yeah, but in my opinion, he deserved it. But... I guess it's better to get the full context. He points at his arms. Those are whip scars. I don't know if you guys have in your world, but where I come from, well, from in my country, I was a slave. I've been one for 19 years, give or take. My master was pretty cruel, very hard, and a bastard. When I escaped, I made a run for it. Stayed on the road until I met those folk. And when we returned back to my country, I had the chance, and I killed him. Didn't want to. But after all the shit he did, I followed my heart.
So now you live a life of, not customer service, but a life of
I aid the
community.
country now. Well, normally I would have been thrown to prison or been killed for my actions for a person who was very important. However, due to my status as god and a bit of persuasion and giving my assistance willingly, I was given the chance to do community service. So now I help the country in its problems. I may be tyranny free, as my title is, and I am, to a certain degree. I give myself to be helpful. But that's me, not you.
Well, you're not that far off on me, but you said something, Frankie?
What happened to the other slaves? Or was it just you?
I mean, there are other slaves. Most of them went to other masters by that time, but now that's changed. Those slaves are probably free. Not in the best position, but still free from their masters. Now, anyway. Lots of change happened when I came around. And
Would you help free the slaves?
Sort of. I help with peace. I take more peaceful resolution, aiding the leader of the effort.
Oh,
It's very Abraham Lincoln.
I don't know who that is.
Say,
The book I read. Sam would know.
I
You know Tori.
kind of paid attention. Yeah.
by what
the
do you
slaves.
mean?
He wasn't a god, but he was really tall, so I mean, he cut lots of trees and stuff.
I mean,
but
I'm
don't know.
not tall, I'm probably the shortest. I'm young, 20, so...
Big hat too.
Maybe I could do that. Maybe I'll ask Russo. I don't know.
Star, he could pull off a hat. Right?
He could. And Star starts like looking at your face and your bone structure. Yes, I can see it now. A nice hat would add maybe a few inches on you. I am gonna have to talk to that Russo. Russo said he was a god of fashion, yes?
I believe so. Not sure if he's a huge fan. He just looks fashionably. That's all.
Star's gonna look at Tori and say, "Before we go home, makeover." Now,
We've done this before.
yes,
That again?
yes, again, it'll be amazing. And Frankie, with your new shiny, smooth skin, same goes for you, Blondie.
Changes raises an eyebrow. That's all.
Oh, you too, honey. You're not escaped from this either.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Yeah, don't even try to
Oh
hide it.
boy.
It's too late.
It's
Now-
too late.
Now tell us more about your slave revolt because I'm
Yeah.
interested. Yes.
I
A revolt?
No peaceful discussions. I mean, all right, there was a close civil war after I murdered my master. That was it was bad.
How did you do that? In my world, we are at war trying to be free.
Well, one, there's a strong leader keeping the peace. The leader of the country has been keeping it on very, very close, but she's managed to pull it off. And with my aid there, I've been trying to help out as much as I can. So we've been trying for a peaceful resolution. She's been trying it for years. So that makes a difference. When you have a peaceful person, one who's very powerful, could keep it all together. You could do it.
What if the very powerful person doesn't want peace? They want to just take you, and there's no strong, peaceful person.
What would you do then?
Kick the shit out of them.
That's your method.
Well, that's what I was trained to do. That's what I was programmed to do.
Do you wish to do that?
Never really thought about it. That's just what I do. I just bash things. It never really had much of a choice.
Some of us don't have many choices. I chose to become a doctor because of, well, where I went through. Felt that anyone else in my position shouldn't feel the same thing. But I've made that choice myself. For you, I wouldn't know how. I would say think for a second and see if what you're doing you feel to you is right. If it is, continue. If you believe it's right for you. If it isn't, think about it. I am a god of freedom, so freedom isn't only just helping others with freedom, it's also giving people the choice to do what they wish to do.
So
We're talking about the guy who killed Agatha.
Yeah. That's actually Agatha's someone I'm considering using this aid plant on. The guy
Zagada's friend of yours?
Yeah. He had to carry out the mission, and Frankie and Agatha were under some sort of mind control. There was some device that was being used that turned them against the group. And so our friend Henry...
When you say the mind control, sort of Tyrion does a hiss.
Yeah, Henry had no choice but to kill her.
He nods. I'm sorry to hear that.
We were just body puppeted. I attacked Black Powder. What do you do when the chains of your slavery are in your mind?
Can't do anything. That's the unfortunate part. What you can do is either make a wraparound for it or try to forget. But hell, even that is bad.
We're going to go to war. They use a device on us. We have to find a way to stop it. And then stop the people using that device on us. There's no nice way to say, don't do that, please. Oh, my feelings are hurt. They don't understand that.
If war
They
is the only
killed
option,
Agatha. Yeah.
if war is the only option you have, then war is the only option you have. At least that's in your eyes. I wouldn't know. Unless in your world.
Unless I take several gods that I just met with me to this other world, maybe we can all go and maybe y'all can have a peaceful negotiation, because I don't think they've ever encountered gods.
I mean,
but that'd be
that
great.
could be helpful, but I'm not. But I'm one of 5 others, and well, you have to ask them.
Yeah.
I would aid in any way I can, but I've been trying to avoid murdering many. But peace resolution, who knows?
Star says, where I come from, I'm a celebrity. And on the surface, it looks like I'm free because I have money and wealth at my fingertips, but I'm bound by my record label. I have to keep my marriage a secret because, ironically, I married my manager. Hopefully Pasha gets a tingle when she hears the word.
Manager?
And
we've summoned Pasha to the conversation. Come on, girl.
Yes.
A manager who is Star's lover.
Yes.
So.
Oh, yes. Yes.
A double tingle where she's like putting out the salted caramel cheesecakes and she's just like,
Suddenly 3 bushes appear, but it's like a triple bush, so that way it's triple effective.
Exactly. And Star's like, in my world, magic is not looked at as a good thing. But the problem with my magic is that it's a part of who I am. If I sing, I do magic. It's autopilot. I have no control over it. And people where I live, some of them go missing. We never see them again. And the few that we have found are not themselves anymore. It's almost like they're awake but sleepwalking.
They have no emotion?
No, it's like they're not themselves anymore.
We had, not sure, something similar to that here. Magic here is very dangerous. And there was a rule that those that were very dangerous we call them tranquil. They lose all emotion. They just be walking servants.
Oh.
Yes.
But where I come from, music is magic. And most of the people who go missing usually are musically talented. A person who I thought was my enemy, who I totally loathe, but she does have incredible shoes, is one of these people. And I want to help. So, even if you can't come to our world, can you grant us a blessing? Something we could take back with us?
Tyrion will think for a bit. I have a curious question, Hark.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tyrion's the god of freedom.
Yeah.
Would he, in some form of way, come up with, maybe by testing with acupuncture or whatnot, be able to reversify a tranquility using a little bit of his acupuncture and also because it's god of freedom status?
Are you talking, so let me just make sure I understand. Are you talking about for Star specifically?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Because Star has issues where the nerves are like dead or just something wrong with the nerve endings, and that is textbook acupuncture.
Yeah. Because when she was like yes, when he was saying, and it was like yes, so I go, do you have a problem?
Oh, well, yes, I do. Star says, in here, I can do this, but in my own body, I don't have access to my hands. And my left hand in particular, I can't move at all, and it's the one I use the most.
Tyrion will sort of think for a bit. He will then he'll then sort of point his finger, and so he's gonna point it outside. He's gonna follow me.
Okay.
And he'll lead you sort of outside, and he's going to sort of click his finger is the old healer's area, like where he used to work, still here?
Absolutely, can be. If not, you can just summon it.
Yeah, he's gonna click his fingers in the middle air, and this small carriage, old like wood, sort of sits there. He's gonna open the door. I may have something to solve that issue for yours, in any case.
Okay. You're not going to kidnap me, are you? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I am over and done with that way of life. I am not about that life. Okay? I'm just saying.
He's going to look at you. I'm the god of freedom. I don't kidnap people. That would be against my code. If I did kidnap someone, I would have murdered myself. But that's... Anyway. I have a particular skill. Do you know of acupuncture?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very talented with that. Maybe I could... fix the nerves, so to speak.
Okay.
Inside, he'll sort of like point at like a small bed, quotation marks, like a massage bed, and he's going to get some tools out, probably like out in the air by the looks of it, from his medical bag, and he'll point at the bed. Rest.
Star will lay down.
Tyrion will pull out the needles. Is the Star have any fear of needles at all, or not really? I'm just curious.
Nope. He got tattoos, no needles.
Oh, so he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrion, roll me a acupuncture skill check, please.
Oh my god.
Critically fail. Critically fail.
You shut up. You shut up.
Critically fail.
An 18. As
beautiful.
I start putting the pins onto her arm and into his arms. Sorry, I mixed them up. Into the arms. You're gonna feel slight sensations, but with these, should be able to feel your nerves again. And when you feel every sort of tingle, it's like you're being freed. It's almost like you've had choice, you've had freedom, but never. This is like true, like a breath of relief, of freedom. As I do so.
There's something welling up from within you, Star, because magic is something you're very familiar with. What you are receiving from this god, though, is somebody who's able to use these needles to tap into your chi, which you might not be as familiar with. And even though, yes, you do have use of your hands in this world, there's something inside that just still feels dead, even though you can still move around. But as Skull said, there is a very freeing sensation, as if things are being unshackled within your veins. Just out of character, whenever you do get back to your previous body, you will find that by doing this procedure to your hands, you will get temporarily relief and regain feeling in your hands for a few hours. You can reapply it daily, but it's only temporary. But you can have feeling during at least those few hours. Tyrion, you believe that this is going to be the case. Mm-hmm. I will leave it up to you if you want to give him some books or anything, so that somebody else might be able to do this for them in the
he'll
future.
probably like his fingers, he's gonna go back into the Golden Palace, where we're in his room. There's books. They're gonna disappear slowly, and a couple of them will sort of appear by his side. This is a temporary process, as far as I can do. Yours is very complex. However, though, if you should be a bit more freeing with your arms. I don't know if you can feel it. Can you?
Yes.
Good. He'll then point at a stack of books. These are all books that I've learned from acupuncture. At least my methods. You can have someone study them. You can study them yourself. Find ways you can do it yourself.
I think I know just the person. Star will grab the books and tackle you with a hug.
Slam. Whoa. Okay. He's kind of hug back. That was a surprise.
I'm just gonna put an insert that as you tackle Tyrion, Darren will probably be walking by, and she's like, Tyrion, really? Strangers from other universes too?
What?
Really?
I'm just trying to be helpful here.
Can't you ever take a break, man, from this? How many people are you trying to add to your list?
I have no list. You have to do. You were doing that list. I sort of accuse.
Star, what would your manager say?
I'm hugging him out of gratefulness. Oh my goodness. Star's gonna let Tyrion go. He's still gonna kiss you on the cheek. It's unavoidable.
He'll take it.
Right, and so say, thank you. And he said, and as for you, Frankie, my dear, I was thanking him because I have something I can take home with me. Something I can use. And my dear Tori, you will help me. But later.
Well, I did what I can. You sort of say.
Tori, don't steal those needles.
I wasn't planning on it.
I could see it.
Right.
Do know nothing.
I'm a terrible liar.
Do know nothing can escape my eye. Just want to point out on that. He sort of the Tyrion will legit tell you, like, nothing escapes me.
Okay.
Well, in any case, I hope I have helped in any way I can. If there's anything else you need, well, you'll find me. And don't give up on your worlds, or wherever you come from, or whatever you do. Push on, because you don't know what the light at the end of the road will show you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
He nods with a smile.
Lonnick currently has a pint in his hand and is like kicking back against a wagon.
And after the teleportation back and all that, Darren kind of wandered about for a bit and looks around, not many other people, and he'll go and sit next to Lonnick. Lonnick, was it?
Yeah?
Yeah. You seem a little bit uneasy, I suppose.
Well, you'd be uneasy too if you burned the bridge that I just did. But I don't regret it.
Must have had a lot to not regret something if it's a big bridge.
Oh, it's no big deal.
Are you sure about that?
He's not good at lying. You could like he literally
like
disadvantage.
no, he can tell. Definitely can tell. It's more just pointedly like asking Lonnick, like, are you sure about that?
Absolutely. Sometimes you have to make hard decisions, and they're hard, but they can lead to good things, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you need to make sure you know exactly what kind of decisions you're making and what you're giving up.
Well, I never made a decision before this one, so I honestly don't really know.
Dathan kind of looks at Lonnick and will just grab the edge of the cup. And I think this is maybe a bit much for you right now.
Yeah, probably.
The first time you've made a decision, have you been unable to, controlled? What exactly prevented you before?
Until I met my friends when I first left my game, I had no free will, no ability to choose anything, ever, and I remember all of my past lives. Every single possible thing I could have decided to do is in my head. I remember it, not always clearly, but thank you for the lack of inhibition. I've murdered people that I care about just because some 30-year-old wanted to see what would happen. And because you can do it, you basically have to. I've done horrible things. I've died repeatedly for ridiculous and embarrassing reasons. More times than you could probably imagine.
I don't know, I can imagine quite a bit.
That's what the others keep saying.
I've also lived a lot of what you're saying.
Really?
In a manner of speaking.
How long do you think you've lived?
Oof. The last I counted, I believe I am, and he takes a couple minutes, 1,369.
Lonic just kind of lets go of the cup. I'm assuming that Dartham's still holding the top.
Yeah.
Just like,
And Darth,
I don't even know how old I am. The writers say that I'm 15. My world is 25 years old, and I've been around since it was created. I've lived tens of thousands of years with all my lives connected together. I don't even know what I am.
do you want to?
I don't know.
Well, if you want to live, if you want to make choices, you kind of have to.
Lonic kind of looks off into the background and maybe sees Sue doing something. I didn't want to live until I met them and her. A lot more common ground here than I anticipated.
You said you don't regret leaving.
I don't regret leaving, but I don't know if it was the right choice. If I'm being totally honest, I don't know.
As Darthan kind of goes in front of Lonic, you won't really ever know until you make up your mind. And right now, this, as he points to the alcohol, you, seems like you're avoiding this subject.
He just kind of scratches behind his ear like I'm doing, just like...
Mm-hmm. I know what it is to feel what you're feeling. I felt it very similarly. But there's a flood coming.
That's not good because I can't swim.
Well, you can learn. And you're gonna have to.
Actually, I can't even float.
You can learn.
Like a lead brick in a swimming pool. Look!
Lonic, stop avoiding.
What am I avoiding?
Lonic.
What?
This will be good for you. As you see Dartham's form shifts a little bit more into his feral darkspawn form. And maybe there's a second when Lonic, like, out of panic, actually, like, tries to run.
Oh, definitely.
But then there's just a quick snap as a brief paralyze goes off. Probably not enough for, like, Lonic to get away enough. And then Darthan just grabs Lonic's hand. And then there's just a voice that reverberates around Lonic's brain. Feel, remember. And it is basically just going to be the gate that was basically Lonic's avoiding. Darthan goes up, kicks it wide open. And there is just a moment where Lonic, looking at Darthan, in his mind and physically, that it's just suddenly becomes this looming presence, almost, and it feels scary. It feels almost malevolent in how intense it is. as there is just this almost growl as the gate starts to crack and a big split comes down the middle. And then there's just a voice. This isn't going to be pleasant. It wasn't for me. But you will need this. As it is broken open, and Daretham is not a god of Lonix world. He can't get empathy from that world and such, but Daretham brings in the emotions Lonic himself is feeling, and then, while diluted in this situation, Daretham puts some of his own in there, of his reawakening, and kind of how he started to have to reassess himself. He keeps the big bad parts out, but combined with what Lonic is feeling, it's overwhelming. And the Lonic trying to get away, just the paralyze is keeping Lonic there. Until
I imagine,
yeah, go ahead.
Whenever you're playing a game and the world underneath your character starts moving, like you lose your movement animations, like T-pose for dominance. Just basically he's stuck in a T-pose right now.
Yeah. And as Daretham is just holding, and then there's this, maybe anyone who's around can feel just a slight rumble in the ground. As the other gods can feel Daretham's energy has spiked. And in an intense way. Almost battle, but not quite. Eventually, as the last bits of the gate are pretty much swept clean, Daretham lets go, and then the paralyzed drops as Lonic collapses.
Lonic collapses, and he's shaking. They were real. Just like I am. They've been telling me that I'm real. If I'm real, then that means they're real. And they're still trapped. Every one of them. And now they don't have me. I can't break their chains. I can't do anything. My first decision, and it was a bad one. Lonic gets up. He staggers back. And then
maybe there's another perspective change from Lonic's perspective as Daretham is still in his more feral form, and it's almost like, that shot as you're looking up from the shoulder of a character further down, as it's just this looming presence from Daretham, and right before whatever Lonic decides to do happens, Daretham just speaks. Then make better ones next time.
And Lonic is gone. None of you see him run, but you all hear him run.
And as the sonic booms happens right in front of Daretham, there's just the shot where he's alone, and then eventually he shifts back down to his hybrid form.
I don't know why I imagined it like a One Punch Man panel. Just okay.
Tori would look for Sue and say, should we go check on him?
Something happened. I felt like, I don't know, there's something swept over me for just that one moment. We should probably. Do you know? I didn't catch what direction he went.
Out of character, did we hear which direction he went? And
he disappeared, but his other half is here, and there is a god of couples.
I got it right at the end. Asha, meanwhile, just selling her cupcakes, selling her cheesecake in the background, just very conveniently. Just money.
Would Pasha get a tingle at some point? Or
I think presumably there is a couple in distress in my vicinity. And
yes. Sue feels is in heavy grief because she's super worried about her boyfriend or significant other, or whatever you like to call it.
And Pasha will come over to the group and just say, I don't mean to intrude, but there seems to be that something isn't quite right here. Can I be of assistance?
do you have a way of looking for lost people? Something happened with Lonick and he ran off, and I'm really worried about him, and I'm trying to see if everything's okay.
He can run really fast and really far, so we don't know where he is.
Okay. Well, Miss, I don't think I ever got your name, Miss, and Mrs., because y'all are both ladies.
Oh. I'm Sue. I'm the worst cook in Thedas. She's sorry. There's just so many things happening all at once, and I'm trying to keep it together.
Okay.
Tori puts a hand up there. You're not that bad.
She's just trying to be nice so that she doesn't feel guilty about hating me this whole time. She's like,
we'll have to resolve that later, Sue. Hi, I'm Tori.
Tori, yes. Pasha, she has a cookie. One left over. She probably brought it with her from her stall. She's just trying to give it to Sue, kind of eat the thing, make you feel better.
She's munching on it. Oh, the texture is glorious. It's still warm. She's just chomping on it. Could you please help? I'm having a very bad day right now. A bit of a crisis.
I can help. I can help with that. There's a connection between you two. We can follow that. Hold hands.
Yes.
Hold
I'll
your
just
hand.
follow behind.
Oh, that's right. You're semi-corporeal. Can you float?
Yes, I can fly too.
Okay, in that case, just follow along, and Pasha will, using her god abilities, kind of fly with Sue up into the air.
Yeah.
And it's not a visible connection, but effectively, you could describe them as almost being on a monorail. The journey is that smooth as Pasha is just following the connection between Sue and Lonick. So she's, depending on how far he ran, this could take some time, but just we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Don't you worry, my dear.
Well, he ran over 500 yards.
I'll say you'll be able to get to him eventually.
Okay. Tap down and just young man, are you quite all right? Your friends were very worried.
You land in front of not Lonick, but a pair of boulders, and it looks like something has tunneled underneath the boulders.
Lonick, are you there? Sue asks. Oh,
the
I think it's
hedgehog.
Lonick's familiar.
And it tunnels under the rock too.
Chimchar, did Lonick fall down the hole? What is it, boy?
It's a tiny hole.
Lonick's stuck in a well.
Did Lonick fall in the hole? Stuck in a well?
It's a small hole. He just tunneled under a rock.
She's a monk in this form, so she will easily be able to acrobatics her way in.
But just flip the rock?
Or flip the rock very easily.
It's not a cave. It's literally like a rat hole.
Okay. Yeah. She will use her very powerful monk abilities to move the boulder.
So what he does, there's another hedgehog at the middle in a divot, and this hedgehog is pink.
There's two.
Lonick? Come on, she says. No one's going to hurt you. We're just worried. Can you come out?
So Lonick is gonna allow himself to shapeshift, not into his druid form, but into his real, not his real form like the actual human form, but like his hedgehog form, his platformer form. None of you should be around me.
What?
Why not?
I I bring pain. And when people need me, I just run away. I'm not good. You're a hero, Sue. You wouldn't know.
Sweetheart, I don't know if you've noticed, but that happens. I say that all the time as well when I cook things for people. And they run away pretty quickly when I do. So I know the feeling, in a sense.
Tori Sue, you know I made a really hard choice in my world to leave it behind. And the whole time we were in my world, Tori, you didn't have any real problems killing people that were in it because they weren't real.
Well, yeah, they were programmed to be bad guys.
Well, I'm just a program too. I'm not real either. So if I'm not real, and then they're not real, but if I am real, then I just abandoned an entire world of real people. Hello, Pasha.
Who's to say that you abandoned them? I don't think you abandoned them. I don't think that's the right word. I think you had a realization, and maybe now that you have this realization, and maybe now that you're supposedly out, you could do something about the rest.
I don't think that's possible.
Have you tried?
If my game just stopped existing, that would be... If everybody left, then people would know something was up. They'd probably try to find me. They might try to find the others, Lado, Tangerine. I don't really care so much about Ganbani. He's kind of a jerk. But I don't know what to do. It feels like the first decision I ever made was selfish. I don't want to keep living in that world where everything is a game. If everything's a game, then nothing matters. I'm tired of being the butt of everyone's joke.
Well, then, isn't that why you left?
But I don't know what to do. I don't want to take too much from anybody else either. I know Frankie needs help with his revolution. I know Sam needs help with his jail. I'm sure that even though you're a god, that Pasha needs something. I want to help people, but I can't even help myself.
May I?
Yes?
And Pasha will sit down next to Lornik. And can I just for the sake of the scene, using her god powers, she summons a bag of rice or grain, something like that, just summons it. And she will kind of spread it out, like on like the bag opens up and you have the mound of rice. And she says, all right, I can't necessarily say if this relates completely to your situation, but this is the feeling I'm getting. You want to go help these people over here, and she shifts out the rice that way. And you also want to help these people over here, and then this situation, and then this, and then that, and then that. And eventually what's left right at the center for you is nothing. There is nothing there. To spread yourself so thin, it's selfless, but ultimately all that will end up doing is harming yourself, my dear. It is not selfish to keep some things back for yourself, as long as you don't take everything. You can spread yourself evenly and still retain what makes you you. Unless you have tried something, you don't know whether it will succeed or fail. It's always worth trying, isn't it?
It has to be. I'm sorry, I've never been able to try before. I've lived longer than Dartham. I could feel it. He was like a child compared to me. And just in terms of age. And in all that time, I never had any control.
Blahnik, I don't really talk about this very much. But back in my world, I was constantly being pulled to help save the day. The city gets attacked once a week, and I'm juggling that and culinary school and the rest of my personal life, and I have had to spread myself very, very thin to try to save as many people as possible. And when I've met all of you, I just felt myself slipping and slipping and slipping. But as soon as I met the group of you and a solo hero became a team, I didn't feel that I need to do everything myself and that I had to carry the burden all the time. That's a lot of pressure. It's like a drip, drip, drip that'll never stop. You know? And at some point, you just have to realize that you don't always have to know what you're supposed to do. Sometimes, when a moment just happens, you'll figure out what you need to do in that moment. You don't always have to plan for it ahead of time. You just have to be present and just know that when that time comes, have faith that you'll be ready for whatever it is.
Well, I can safely say in all of my time in New Super The Legend of Blahnik the Super Tough Pinkmon Turbo XD Definitive Edition, I still get the title wrong every time. I was never really surprised after the first journey. Every day with you, and with Tori, and with Sam especially, and with Star, and with Black Powder, every day is a surprise. And Frankie too.
That's what I love about you, Blahnik. You see the world in wonder, and for somebody like you said who has never had control or never had to make a decision, you're just so brave, just delving into everything, and you take everything into stride. And I know that people don't always take you seriously all the time, but I see you. I hear you. You're very real to me, regardless of what you feel or anything else, and what I feel about you too is real. And if you ever feel that you are not enough, or that you're not doing enough, or that you're not able to carry the burden, then just know that I feel the same way too. And it gives me comfort to know that I can rely on someone like yourself through the times that I'm uncertain.
I'm gonna do my best. That's all I can do. But I left so many people behind in my world. They might have seemed like a faceless mob that were the same person duplicated over and over again, but the Todds, each one given my chance, given my opportunity, had it been one of them and not me, would they have become an individual? Would they have been afraid? Would they have found love? And is it even something that's possible to do?
I don't know. But I think you'll never know for sure until you stop running, Blahnik. Stop running. Slow down. I think if you get too far ahead of yourself, you'll find yourself burning out.
Thank you. And thank you for the rice, Pasha. And thank you for standing up for me and being there for me, Tori.
Always.
Everybody tries so hard, and it makes me want to try hard. But sometimes I don't feel like sometimes I don't feel like I'm enough.
Might I just say, there is only one person who can tell you when enough is enough, and that is you. No one else, no outside forces. It has to come from in here. You are the only one who gets to say when enough is enough. Let no one else tell you otherwise.
Lanik, at this, Sue takes a hold of your hands very softly, and she just looks at you in the eye and she says, "You said you don't know if you feel like it's enough. Feel this, and tell me what you think." And she'll lean in to try to kiss you.
Lanik will shape into a more humanoid form as she does.
You and Sue share this very passionate first kiss. And
First real kiss.
just like, I'm sorry?
First real kiss.
First real kiss. And just like in dating sim form, there's fireworks, big giants, score card numbers just pop out of nowhere. Hearts are flooding around, blah, 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 blah.
A bush mysteriously appears in front of Pasha.
But Pasha's the one doing it all because she gets Lanik super speed just for these moments.
I was gonna say this bush appears and Tori finds herself being dragged into the bush as Tasha's just privacy, we live in the bush now. Don't question it, this just happens. This happens when romance happens around me. Beware of the fireworks.
Yeah, Tori will elbow Pasha, did you make that happen?
It happens. Don't question it. Don't question
talk to you about some boy trouble, but we'll get to it.
And as soon as Sue and Lanik finally pull away from this passionate kiss, they discover right at their feet, between them, sprouts a bud. It's a beautiful bud that gradually grows and opens up into a lotus flower. And inside of the lotus flower is a bookmark.
In all
A non-glitchy bookmark.
In all of my adventures, discounting the uses of game micas, I've only ever seen one Enigma Lotus before.
It's beautiful.
It's plain. You're beautiful.
She will clutch herself and very sweetly, and she'll move in for a second kiss, if you allow a second kiss.
Lanik will definitely allow a second kiss.
He says, "Get a room."
Tori's like, enough is enough!
Stay in the bush. Stay in the bush.
Awesome. Very cool. Well done, everybody. Very cool. Thank you to everyone involved.
Yeah, he'll just see you come back, and I guess maybe if it's after Lanik ran off, he's like,
Yeah, actually, a great moment would be there's just the sonic burst as Lanik moves off, and then Darathan kind of just standing there, maybe the black powder goes up and approaches.
I have a feeling you have a hard time making friends sometimes.
It's the appearance, They look at my ugly mug and then they rear away.
No, I've seen ugly. You're not ugly. Trust me.
Well, I can tell you that Star feels much better.
Good. He deserves that.
What about you?
What about me?
Star deserves to be better. Is it different for you?
Depends on who you ask. I know of one young man who probably wishes I was dead in a ditch.
I know of many souls who wish I was the same.
I just want to do what's right by these kids.
I don't have too much to say, because from what I feel, you've already gotten past the hump where you've realized and now you're making amends.
Trying to figure out my next step with a certain situation. But Right now, I'm just going to do what I can to make sure my family gets to where they need to be. After that, I'll figure out my own stuff.
That's what I did too. I mean, there was a time not even a year ago where I was a dead man walking and was about to commit some truly heinous acts. Some I had already committed. Now I'm a god. But just did what I thought was right. And stood back up.
No, I ain't no god. And
Don't trust me, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
I never wanted to be, but I recognize someone who maybe has done some bad things. And when they've truly faced it, I had to face my own actions and had to pull away from my own temptations very recently. Star got very badly hurt because of it. I'm never gonna forget what I did. One day I hope to make it up to other people I've hurt, but I don't know if that's possible. What I do know, though, is that eventually, when I know these people I'm with are safe and back to where they want and need to be, then I'm going to sit down and I'm going to face my own demons. Because you can't really be redeemed until you do. And burying yourself in work and the problem of others is just avoidance. And he kind of gives like a knowing smirk to him.
And Daretham nods and in agreement, and notably, though Black Powder directs the smirk at Daretham doesn't seem to notice.
You'll figure it out one day, kid.
He just raises an eyebrow. Figure what out?
When to stop avoiding your own demons.
Oh, I don't avoid them. They're constantly around me.
Doesn't mean you pay attention. He'll give him a slap on the cheek and he'll walk away.
There's a shot. We don't see Daretham's face, but just his grip around the staff tightens ever so slightly.
What does the staff say? It's still got googly eyes on it.
Does still have googly eyes. Ow! Ow! Ow!
Emotional damage.
Emotional
damage.
I'm not gonna lie, I went really dirty with what the staff might have said or thought, and I think I'm gonna keep that to myself unless people want me not to.
Maybe in the
You can DM it. Do it. Do it. Yeah, that is a good question. But just so I know, will eventually we don't have to roleplay it. Will eventually Tori take the googly eyes back, or is that going to be a parting gift?
No.
Okay, you don't want to just do a trade? Okay, no trade.
That's mine.
All right, you'll take the googly eyes back. Very well.
So I'm gonna go off of you for half setup of this. Is Frankie's expression after getting all the memories changed much at all, Alex? Or has it been like he's still waiting for like a bit of a break after that?
Yeah, right now, headspace wise, denial. Full on denial right now. He's trying not to even think about it. He's eating, like I said, he's eating his feelings away right now. He can't process any of it right now. So he's just like minding his own business, just going along, cracking jokes, trying not to even.
Yeah. So I'm going to say after Star's taken away for the acupuncture thing and he's just kind of noticed like the denial mode, Russo's just going to come up and just tap on the door seal a little bit.
Yes.
Are you all right? I've kind of noticed since Leon did his thing, you've been dodgy.
Dodgy? I don't know what that means. Like
holding a lot and not saying much.
Oh, well, it's just, being in a new world, it's like normal for us. It just takes a while to process it all. And Change phone. Look, this is not how I normally look, anyways. What is all these horns thingies? I have been here before. Actually, I won't go too much into it, but I've had horns before. I've been horny before.
They're just appendages that grow. We don't have any nerves with them or anything. They're just kind of there.
Okay.
Russo is gonna very awkwardly kind of just move the cookie bowl to the side. I'll be rather blunt. That look I saw you give right after the operation, I've been there before.
Look, he's full transparent. Like he can't hide anything either. By the way, he's just like.
Imagine like the anime sweat tear. Essentially, is what Russo does. He looks back up. That a lot of things you haven't been able to understand or fully accept have just been laid out in front of you. I'll go first. I'm not a traditional Kosif or Kosif elf half-breed like most people say. I'm really an ancient one called a scaled one, and they lived segregated from society for a really long time, and I never knew what I was or where I came from until much later in my life, and that my mother had performed a blood ritual on me that did all of these things to me in the name of science, I guess. I get what it's like to have everything that was a preconceived no just be ruined, and I want to know how you're dealing with that.
I don't have a problem. And you can tell he's just not owning it. But I get where you're coming from, I think. You're trying to be supportive. I know what that's like. It's just going to go away. I'm sure this is just going to get better. The first time
don't harbor that. I'm gonna just tell you outright, putting it away and not dealing with it makes it much worse. I'm not a too horribly good person, Frankie. I've killed people. I've lied to my child about my life before. I had a whole slew of baggage that needed to come out that I never dealt with, and it just made me worse and worse as I continued on with life. I want you to get the chance to just, in private, air it out if you can.
Definitely. Well, you're not the first bad man that I've befriended. I'm sure I can talk to Black Powder if I have to. And Star is a really good listener. And Tori. And Sam can just see right through me, so.
Can I just hear what you felt? Please?
What do you mean? You mean what? Are you doing some sort of magic thing on me?
I could. For example, the Russo does the flick, then you feel your body not be able to move like he did in the War for Vane, then immediately undoes it. No, I have no interest in trying to gain an upper hand. It's just emotionally, I got a lot of different vibes when I saw you leave. Like you'd learned a lot of things that you just didn't know. And if you don't feel comfortable, I'll leave and let you be. But I want to give you the chance to at least help you along while I can.
Oh, it's like all of, I can't even describe the feeling. It's like feeling everything at once. I can't even separate some things right now. It's like having several people inside my head right now, and they're all like trying to tell me something all at once, and I can't tell them to shut up, and I can't differentiate the voices. I don't even know how many there are.
Why bother? They are you, you are them. From what I heard, you were made from several people when we initiated the conversation and first met. Even though it's tough, those people get to live through you, and you get to live through them. It's a second life for the both of you.
Then who am I?
You are what you make yourself.
I'm just going to need time right now. And I just don't want to think about it anymore.
That's fair. Just don't forget it, okay?
But I appreciate you forcing this. I know you mean well. I can tell. I'm gonna go get more cookies.
Take care of yourself. Yeah, here you go, and he'll slide the jar back over.
Okay.
Now, I promised them when I get them on my itinerary. Suppose it's time to get it over with.
You'll find Star writing again in his book. He'll be like, shadows fall and hope has fled. He said, not the right key. I have to work on this. This seems like this can go somewhere. A dawn will come. Note to self, work on this song. Oh, hi, God of Fashion. How are you?
Exhausted.
Said, rest your feet, my dear.
Yeah, and then he'll just prop up onto the bench. Or table, wherever Star's sitting. Ain't here, right?
It's probably like one of the tables Pasha put out.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. It's my least favorite of all of my domains, but I do service my followers.
I am horrified. Fashion is your least favorite? Darling, look at me. I exuberate fashion. Just imagine that outfit you saw. Just think of mustard and ketchup. There it is right there. Ketchup and mustard. I exuberate fashion, darling. And he'll flip his hair and say, tell me I don't look good.
I don't know if exuberating ketchup or mustard's a particularly good thing to do.
Well, it works.
But yes, you are well put together.
Thank you. So, this is what I wanted to ask you. You know that thing about shoes? You know, when you're always adventuring, sometimes you just want to have cute feet, or pretty feet. It's just, sometimes you just need something. And everyone here, I think, has been having some serious, revelations, just having some aha awakening moments. It's like they're ascending. It's like this ascension that is happening. So I thought, to put everyone in a bright and colorful mood, since you are the god of fashion, can we give everybody some really cute shoes based on their personality? Just like right now. And honestly, your friend, the little elf, the one with the whips, honey, that boy need a makeover like nobody's business, but nobody's saying nothing about it. And I'm just trying to help this child out. Just saying. So, what say you?
Against my better judgment. Sure. We'll take it another level.
Star is living in this moment. He feels once again good about his life choices. And he's going to give you a quick dossier on each person real quick and say, this is what they're like. This is what they're into. This is their Senshi color. Let's give them some shoes.
Yep. Makeover mode away, and then he does the clap where it does the giant pink static shock field where it gives everyone their ideal makeover.
Yes. In this moment, everyone has whatever their favorite type and style of clothing and shoes is. Hair and makeup is on point. And when you all kind of look at yourself, you just see Star sitting there with his legs crossed with one of those long cigarettes saying, God of fashion made it all possible. Pray to him.
In the fuchsia form, he flips his hair. Yes, and then turns right back.
With these god-touched shoes, which I'm just gonna call it the relic from this realm. Sure. You now have God Touched Shoes, which will make it so that you will never grow tired from walking. Running, you'll still get tired, but just pure walking, you'll never grow tired.
Wow.
If you just want to walk forever, you technically could. You might still need natural sleep, but they give you with amazing comfort. So effectively, if like your movement increases by, I'm not really sure how we figure out movement, but we'll just say that your movement increases by an additional like square. Yes.
So what
Dominic.
you're saying is like every 10 footsteps you heal a hit point, something like that, right? That's how comforting these godly shoes are.
I don't know if you would heal necessarily naturally, but at minimum, your base speed is increased by a square.
Does that count for when, I mean, Tori doesn't have feet.
Ghost shoes! We're gods! We can make ghost shoes!
It's spirit
It's fine.
brand.
Spectral shoes.
Petrol shoes,
Spectral
perfect.
shoes.
I was going to ask you, you technically need to be wearing both of them for them to work.
Yours is a rubber pad on the bottom.
Bottom of the peg leg, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, you can have, yes. I feel like Micah will draw these shoes for each person.
Oh,
Okay.
Don't worry.
The last thing I'll say about the shoes, the magical God Touch shoes, is everyone will get, while wearing these shoes, a +2 bonus to dancing with these shoes, and you will get an automatic advantage on all of your dance checks on top of that if you're dancing with your significant other or somebody you consider to be your significant other. You get an advantage.
Star's gonna walk back up to Tyrion, holding the box, looking happier than he's looked since he got there, and say, "Thank you for this gift. You have no idea what you've blessed me with, and I feel our time here grows short, so I won't be long, but I'll be strong. Is that okay?"
That is fine.
As a Fae, there's a gift we give to everyone we run across. And for me, it's the truth. So here's what I'll tell you. And you can share this message with the others. His hand will glow, and if Tyrion lets him, Star will touch his chest.
Yeah, he'll let you. He'll let
Okay.
you.
Star will touch his chest and say, "For you, you gave me freedom by giving me back my hands. Just remember, no matter how many lives you save, you are always free, though you are still shackled by community service. Never forget that. To your friend Pasha, tell her to take off her gloves with her lover, because honestly, even though she may see the past, it'll help her go closer to him. To the big scary dude, Dirtham, tell him it's okay to deal with your shit, just first start forgiving yourself. For the blood mage, though he tries to not call himself a blood mage, tell him sometimes study is good, but to embrace the real world, he'll see so much more and get so much more experience. And for the god of fashion, just tell him he's fucking fabulous and to be a good dad."
And as you sort of say those words, Tyrion is sort of using that telecommunication to send it to all the others with your words, like your exact same words, essentially, so they're all hearing what you say.
My work here is done.
Seems so. And I hope the time here you spent made a lot of recollection for you. And gave you the answers.
Yes.
As everyone is starting to gather around the bookmark, kind of everyone's starting to say goodbyes and such.
Well, looks like you all have to leave now.
Yeah, maybe we'll finally get to go back to the library.
We need a rest.
Well, if you all get a chance to accidentally return to the library and we're there, it'll be good to, see how things are going and hopefully be able to host you to a good meal and really show you what we've done with the place since we've kind of taken over. And before we end up leaving, Is there anything that any of you all want or need, or?
Well, I suppose one thing. Sam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't able to talk much. If I'm not mistaken from the rest of you, you're the one who asks a lot of questions, right?
It's what I do.
Yeah, of course. I just wanted to leave you with one. Because you ask so many questions and yet you refuse to ask her. Why is that?
Well, that's I'm gonna make eye contact with Russo real quick before turning back. Saying, well, it's a long story, but
it's not one I need to hear. But it is a question I think you should answer for yourself.
You got your choice to do it, whatever that is.
Maybe I need to figure out a way to tell her the answer. And I'm going to reach in my pocket and I pull something out and throw it to you. It is a plastic sleeve, and inside is a spork, a napkin, and a little salt and pepper. And on the napkin is written Gourmet City, Monday morning, 1:22 p.m. with a question mark. Food court, and it's got everybody's name and some type of a food listed right behind their name. So like Tori says ramen. Frankie has like 5 different dishes listed. It's everything they ordered while we were in the food court at Gourmet City. If we do end up meeting again, and whether it's back here or in the library, I'll be able to tell you that either I did ask, or I at least explained why I didn't.
Everything will give a nod.
What do you say? Everybody ready to try the magic in the bookmark?
Who wants to do it this time?
Well, Lonic.
I can do it. But before I do, Dartham, thank you. I couldn't handle it in the moment, but thank you so much for opening that in me. And Pasha, thank you for coming to find me. I know I'm probably not going to get the chance to see you again. I mean, I might, but being in this group, Black Powder and Sam are kind of like the dads. I have my own creator who was a guy, but I've never had a mom.
Oh.
And the way you reached out to me was kind of motherly. I just wanted to say thanks for being there.
Don't you worry about it. See you on different tides.
I hope so. Does anybody else have anything else they want to say to anybody?
Star will have a tray of Pasha's cupcakes and say, I like you. Have a cupcake.
I'm just going to have one more cookie before we hit the road.
There it is right there.
Well, on that note, Lonic is actually going to turn to Tori and give her a quick hug. Because I won't be able to do this again until we decide whether or not we want to bring you back.
She'll hug back and she'll kind of look to the rest of the group, including the whole group, and be like, "Can we have a group hug? Is that okay?"
Yeah, bring it in.
Alright, let's go.
Dartham just turns his shoulder.
She will make sure she'll make the hug too.
Daratham's maybe on the edge, but he hugs as well.
Terrible hug.
Oh, yeah. Star will be chewing on a cupcake.
I like
Star's in the middle, just chilling. Body surfing on the rest of the hug.
I was going to say, Pasha's at the edge just feeding the cupcake. She's just like throwing them over like...
I support this.
At the end of the hug, he's just going to give kind of like a nod to Daretham as if think on what I said, kind of thing. And then look at Pasha. Maybe I'll take you up on that baking lesson another time, since it got interrupted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can make salted caramel cheesecake next time.
Sure.
Tyrion look at
Frank passes out.
Tyrion look at Star. Make use of those books.
Oh, I will. He'll glance at Tori. I will. Oh, and scary guy, you should talk to the red one. Think about it.
The end Frankie goes to Star and says, when we have a moment, I'm gonna need your advice. And then he'll look over at Russo and just kind of like...
Yeah. With that, Russo will give a nod to everyone. Well, I did not get the chance to speak with all of you. It was nice meeting every single one of you. Sam, stand tall. Frankie, don't forget. The rest of you, be strong. And Black Powder, before I go, I think you'll make better use of this than me. And he'll pull objection off of his back and just hold it out.
What is that?
Warhammer.
Objection is a two-handed maul, and Russo's signature weapon.
That was Russo's epic judgment called objection.
Thank you. I don't know if I can use this, but thank you.
We'll figure it out.
I'll figure something out.
It's magic.
He'll keep on giving
There's
Black
will,
Powder
there's a way.
things he's not sure if he can use. Lonix Yo-Yo and Objection.
Shoes.
We'll use it.
Yes.
This time we used all our stuff. We used all our...
Right?
Tori
We got-
will address the group and be like, this isn't going to be a goodbye. This is going to be see you very soon. And the next time we see each other, you guys will have dolls. I just didn't have time to make them. You guys will have dolls too.
Before I forget, it doesn't do anything, but Violetta made this for you, and he'll pull out one of her voodoo dolls.
Oh my god, it's beautiful. Thank you. And she'll take it and hug it.
You'll not take care of each other, alright?
Tyrion will look quickly at Frankie. I know you have a ward, you have to go back home. I can't really give you much, but he pulls from like out of nowhere. He hands you a knife. One of my trusted. He gives you a throwing dagger, a tainted throwing dagger. Maybe it'll come in useful one day. No worries.
Freedom.
For freedom.
All right, as hard as it is, Lonic, charge up that mark.
Here's hoping that the next trip is the trip home.
Yes.
And Lonix sends his 1 point of electric current into the bookmark, causing it to activate.
And you will feel that normal tug that you normally feel when you are traveling back to the library and you're thinking, okay, this is it. Wait, something's still not quite right. Everything around you looks very different. It's not the library. First of all, you seem to be in some sort of town, village sort of thing, but everything appears like the buildings and objects around this town is drawn in crayon right now. And when you look at each other, you realize that every single Athenaeum character is a Muppet. You all are in Muppet forms. And there's a big sign in front of you that says, "Welcome to Poppy Street." So for the next session, we have a special guest. Kiwi will be joining us as B, as you will get to explore the wonderful world of a children's storybook. That is the next world of a children's storybook.
Oh my god, I'm dying. I love it so much.
Yes. And if you guys want puppet forms, please tell me so I will make them for you. You know I got y'all covered.
Kiwi has actually figured out what each character looks like in Muppet form.
Really?
But
Yeah, surprise
Yes.
me.
You
Surprise me.
beat you to the punch, Mike.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care.
but if you will, I will ask him to contact you if he wants to collaborate with you a little bit, or if he wants to keep it a surprise.
Okay.
I want to be
So-
surprised.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
He definitely started watching, and when he got to the part in the story where Tori died, he was like, I think I have to make a change to Tori's puppet. Make a change to Tori's puppet.
You know what? I'm not even gonna steal that boy's thunder. You know what? I'm gonna leave it to the professionals. How about that?
I cannot wait.
Me neither.
So awesome.